Hey. Sorry about the delay there. I was trying to take care of Facebook before we came on, but I am J.W. Sims, the host of the Hooligan Alley podcast. Or Hooligan, that's my old show, Hooligan Alley Hangout. Um, and we have three guests with us here tonight on this great Friday evening in July. Coming to you, I changed my background a little bit. Actually, I moved back to my old sitting spot. Um, but anyway, so you'll see, some cool art behind me. But our first guest I'm going to bring on is Will Peden and his book Heel Turn. We'll go ahead and let Will give us a quick little elevator pitch for that book. Hey, Will, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
All right, not too bad. So your book on Kickstarter right now is Heel Turn. Just give us a little a little idea of what the story's about.
In a couple words, pro wrestling meets Dexter. It's actually about a guy named Ethan who works a normal job as a call center rep, and then on the weekends he's a independent professional wrestler that emphasizes on the extreme side of wrestling. Then there are certain people that cross him that don't tend to see the light of day. He has a twisted little hobby of being a serial killer.
Oh, a hobby of being a serial killer. That's good. And I'm going to touch on that where the whole wrestling side comes from later in the show when we go over it, because I think it's interesting when I was reading some stuff about you. But our other guest, we actually have two other guests, but the one's not here yet. So, but we're going to bring in Mr. Three-Timer, Rich Perotta, and his book Incantesi Chapter 2. This is Rich's third time on the show. How you doing, Rich? Three.
Awake.
So, for those who don't know, what can you tell us just a little bit about what Incantesi is?
Okay, a young girl from Milan who's a dancer finds out in the worst ways possible that she is not only destined to be a great sorcerer, but also the keeper of the wrath. A malevolent section of sorcerers whose sole purpose is to mostly murder and enslave humanity for their own evil purposes. Hey Trish. And when faced with this knowledge, she has to make a decision on whether she will embrace her destiny or be consumed by it. And right now we are on chapter 2, where where the main character, her name's Cassandra, her Aunt Amelia, the doctor, and one of the girls that was in the previous issue, they narrowly escaped the hospital in which the Wrath tried to attack and kill Cassandra. And now they're back home in Amelia's Sanctum Sanctorum, and events unfold that become a table setter for issue 3, which really will be it's gonna put everything to the climax, and then afterwards for issue 4 is gonna be something of a finish, but something of a beginning also.
Oh, so it's the end of this storyline, is what you're saying, and then
it's the end of this particular story arc, and during chapters 2, 3, and 4. There's going to be a prologue and there's going to be an epilogue, which shows the 5 remaining Incantesi managing to imprison the Wrath. And all of that coincides with the last issue 4.
Nice.
Yes, it is. I can't wait to show everybody.
Yeah. I know you've been streaming your art for the last few weeks. I've been seeing it
just about every day. Yeah.
And then we're also still waiting for Nicholas Geer to get here with his book, The Relentless Tin Soldier. So, but in the meantime, while we wait for them, I have one of my silly questions that everybody just loves. A couple weeks ago, I asked everybody what their favorite superhero movie has been of all. And I just want to know what your favorite superhero movie sequel has been.
I don't know.
I'm a fan of the Deadpool superhero movies. Just Ryan Reynolds has kind of. I know that's not 100% towards the comics, but Ryan Reynolds has taken that character and kind of brought him to life. And I mean, I thought 2 was actually pretty decent. I can't wait for the 3rd one. They just released a poster on not too long ago. So, I mean, if I had to choose off the superhero movies, I've always been a Deadpool fan, even in the comics. Deadpool and Gambit were always my favorite, even though I'm not a huge X-Men. I love Gambit for some reason. I just like these off-the-wall characters.
Mm-hmm. Is it my turn?
It is.
All right. Well, actually, my favorite sequel is Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, yes.
Well, because it's like a quote-unquote superhero movie, but it's written really well, and it's a taut thriller, and it's so smart in all of it. The whole thing is just so smart, and it closes a lot of things, and it opens up a whole new bunch of questions after that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great table setter, and it's a great finisher for certain elements of Captain America's story, and the way that it was done was just masterful. Really, really, truly masterful. That's one of the best, if not the best, superhero sequel I've ever seen. I noticed that Mike said Superman 2, but if they had the Donner cut, maybe. I saw the Donner cut, and if they followed through with this one scene where Lois tests Clark, because there was a small screen test of Lois testing Clark to see if he's Superman, where she shoots him in the fucking honeymoon suite, and it's like you can tell that the actors were just going through their motions, with the exception of a few moments where they had to emote a little, But it's just like, for some reason, Richard Donner, God rest his soul, chose to put it in there. I'm like, oh, all right, well, why not? But the Donner cut, like the Snyder cut, was so much better than the original. It was, because it's like in the first couple of minutes, I'm sorry for rambling, in the first couple of minutes of the Donner cut of Superman 2, you saw Lois Lane, who's not stupid. She's like, what the hell is this, Superman and Clark Kent? Wait a minute. I'm going to throw glasses on this guy in a hat. And then she goes, hey, Soups, check this out. And it's like, he's like, oh, well, no, okay, it can't be that way, Lois. That's not possible. I'm like, yeah, it is. You just figured it out in less than 5 seconds. You dolts. That was awesome. That was great, because Lois Lane is a very intelligent woman. You think a pair of eyeglasses would conceal this idiot for like 80 years? Really? No. So, yeah, Superman 2 is not my favorite unless it's the Donner cut. Or the Snyder cut, whatever it is.
And
not the Wheaton cut.
Yeah, our third guest of the night, Nicholas Geer, has come. So we're going to bring him in so he can give us his little rundown for the Relentless Tin Soldier.
All right, Maniac. Where is he?
Hey.
How you doing today, sir?
Hello, Relentless Tin Soldier.
Good. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, man. How you doing? I'm ready. Up above me is Will.
Nick.
If we got a couple more, we could play Hollywood Squares.
Or the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Alice. The two younger kids died. The two younger kids from each family died in a horrifying plane crash. No, they died by jumping the shark with Fonzie.
So go ahead, Nicholas, and just give us your the rundown of what your story, your book is about, for those who haven't heard about it yet.
Okay, so the Relentless Tin Soldier is about a rookie cop who pretty much tries to single-handedly take on a new crime family taking over Minneapolis. Of course, the crime family doesn't take it, laying down, and throughout their attempting to stop this rookie officer and his partner, the sergeant, they end up creating the one superhero that can probably bring their whole criminal organization to a halt.
Nice. Very good. And I don't know if you heard backstage, I always ask these silly nilly questions. And the question I had asked everybody was, what was your favorite superhero movie sequel?
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Very good. I remember seeing that in the theaters. Well, I'm old, so.
Me too.
I remember seeing Superman 2 in the
Star Wars
theaters.
in the theater. Shut up, all of you. Come on.
I thought I didn't see the first Star Wars. I mean, I was old
I saw
enough
the first Star Wars. I was alive. I was like 8 when the
I
first
was
Star
alive.
Wars came out.
I just didn't see it in the theaters. I see it on
Oh,
HBO.
God, all
But
of you.
Empire Strikes Back I saw in the drive-in, if you remember those things.
Oh, I've never been to one, and I'm glad that I never been to one. I would have been a dad already at that point. No, but no, I've never been to a drive-in. I mean, what's that like? What's that like being in a drive-in?
Well, back in the day, it kind of sucked because you had a speaker you hooked onto
Why?
the car. You had a speaker you had to hook onto the car, and you couldn't adjust the volume or nothing. It's just this metal speaker on the.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, James, I mean, there may be 4 people on this panel, but we have a lovely guest. And can we ask the name of the lovely lady sitting next to the guy who does the tin soldier thing?
You want to tell him your name?
Kaylee.
What is your name? What's her name?
Speak up.
Kay-
Kylie.
Hi, Kylie.
Kylie.
How are
Hello.
you? My name is Richard. The handsome gentleman above me, his name is Will, and the guy with the beard right over there on the top corner, his name is James. We're all very nice people, and we're just really tired. That's the reason why we're acting really silly right
Well,
now.
at least Rich is.
I am. No, those guys are not. Those guys are mature and they're brilliant, and I'm a doofy head right now. So, because I'm really tired. Star Wars was my first theater movie. My dad made a special trip for me. Aw.
Nice.
I didn't. I had to go by myself. I had to hitch a ride with truckers and stuff like that. It was not very pleasant.
Okay. Well, we're gonna.
Yes.
I have.
please.
I had another question here in my thing. All right. So, who is your favorite comic book artist? I think me and Rich are the artists. Besides yourself, you can't say yourself, Rich.
Well, I am my favorite comic book artist, and I'm everybody else's favorite too. Might as well just say it. I'm kidding. My narcissism phase went out with my dinner. Oh, God help me.
So, how about you, Will? Who's your favorite artist or writer?
I've always been a Turtles fan, so I mean, I always go with Laird and Eastman and that duo together. There's been several other, obviously, people have done the series since then, but I always go with the tried and true originals. Now, there's a lot of great artists out there now, for sure, and I'm loving this last Ronin series since they come back together on it. I'm a little bit of a Turtles fan. Got tattoos of them.
Nice.
It's kind of my inspiration when I came to deciding to do comics. I was like, well, if you can make Ninja Turtles out of comics, I mean, you can pretty much make anything if you have the desire to do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my, my Mount Rushmore of comics in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's tons of great artists out there that have done a lot, great writers, but that's who I always look up to and see for their styles and stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, I discovered the Turtles, I guess, well, probably not, about the same time everybody else did, when the movies came out, because like I told everybody, I couldn't get comic books really where I grew up. I was lucky. Whatever they had in the grocery store is what I read. So
yeah, I started with the 80s cartoon, and then the movies came out. I was kind of still really young with the 80s cartoons, like very, very young. I was watching them, replays of the cartoons, but then the movies obviously took over, and I mean, from there it's just been a love affair ever since then, so to speak.
Yeah.
Is it my turn or is it this gentleman's turn?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, my favorite comic book artist
Or writer, but yeah, because we're artists, so I figured that's your
well, My favorite writer, Chris Claremont. My favorite artist, Paul Smith. My favorite inker, Keith Williams and Terry Austin.
Yeah, I've always liked Terry.
My favorite colorist, Christopher Sotomayor. He's perfect.
Yeah,
the best colorist in all of comics. I don't care who the hell it is. He's the best. The best. Paul Smith draws his comic books like he's storyboarding a film.
That's Papa.
Chris Claremont. He has a tried and true formula, and you know where he's going, but he still manages to surprise you towards the end of whatever thing he's writing. Keith Williams is my mentor. He taught me how to ink. That's how I was able to get consistent work at Marvel because of him. So, yeah, those are my faves.
Nice. All right, Nicholas.
I got into comics big in the 90s, so Jim Lee has always been, the standard for me.
Yeah, it's about mine. Like I got in comics a little bit before that, but in the 90s is when it really like took off for me, because that's when I actually could have my own money. Like I'd start, I was in high school, so I actually had my own money to start buying comics, and so that's when it really. So like and Jim Lee, and then Brett Booth a little bit later, like the Image stuff started with Backlash and stuff, and then I don't know. I guess Todd Knock early on, because I met him when we were both like teenagers. You might as well say, like that's when he was. I mean, he was just breaking in. He was doing that book What the that Marvel used to put out. That was kind of like their Mad magazine. Do you remember that, Rich? Huh?
Yes, I remember.
He was doing like little strips in there.
John Byrne did one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So, but that's it. And like almost a lot of the X-Men creators, Claremont, obviously, because that's most of my life. He wrote that book. So, most of the X-Men characters that I like come from him. But yeah. Now, what you going to say? Were you going to say something, Rich?
John Byrne actually had an entry of in the book What the.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it crossed Superman with the Fantastic Four, and there was something really funny because it's like Superman was talking about his aura around him, which protects him from bodily harm, and then the Thing, he's like, well, how about I just poke my big orange mitt inside your funky aura? And it's like, you can't write dialogue like that without it actually sounding what Ben Grimm would actually say. He's like, oh, is that right? Well, how about I just punch you in your spit curl there, pal? Boom. And he's knocked to the other side of the hemisphere. It's like, K, and it's just like he just destroys him. And I remember What the fondly because of that one thing. So I didn't know that Todd Nowak was an artist for that.
Yeah, he did those the Mutant Mayhem or something like that.
What did he draw aside from all that?
Oh, besides that, I mean, right now he's big and like he does a lot of the covers and stuff for Marvel. He did Young Justice when that was like first out in DC. He was the artist on that.
Okay.
He did a bunch of stuff in Image. That's where he started in Image with like New Men. He did some Team Youngblood.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. Now he does. Well, he just did that Stargirl special that was out like last month or something. It came out.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So we're gonna go into our first book of the night. We'll go ahead and look at The Relentless Tin Soldier. I'm terrible at this, like everybody knows. So give me a second to actually bring it up the right way. Let's see. There it is. All right. Maybe. Eventually. All right. We all can see it? Oh, it didn't share. It didn't share for some reason. Okay. It said it. Let me try it again.
Talk some.
Yeah, speak amongst yourselves. Let me give you a topic. Did it work?
It's trying to do something. There it goes.
There we go. Yeah, it was. For some reason, it didn't want to. All right. So the Relentless Tin Soldier. You're about halfway there, probably a little bit. Yeah, just about $7 away from, or $57, I guess, from the halfway point. So it's not too bad as well. I seen that you have this cover. That's the Shelby.
Shelby Robertson, yeah,
that's the Shelby Robertson cover, and then you also have. I seen a cover by Tucci.
So it's a Billy Tucci cover. He hasn't actually got it done yet, but he's excited to do it. He's just he's kind of behind on his Miss Fury pages, and he's got his she books and everything. So, but I was about out of time on my 6-month pre-launch page, so I had to go ahead and launch.
Awesome. So, again, for anyone who wasn't here, if you want to just tell us a little bit, maybe even a little bit more about the book.
The kind of the tagline is, Benjamin Pearson, a rookie cop, sets out to take down the most influential crime family plaguing Minneapolis, the Coletta family. As expected, an organization with so much influence was not going down without a fight. And to stop him, the Coletta family might have just inadvertently created the one hero that can bring their criminal organization to a halt once and for all.
Very cool. And trying to see this is your interior pages, I assume.
Yes, sir.
And all right, I'm terrible with these names, so you might have to help me. What's the artist name?
I'm going to butcher it too. Sika Murtai.
Terrible.
And the colorist is Walter Pereira, who does the Elvira covers for Dynamite Comics.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. So this is your basic superhero story, I assume?
Yes. No, that's the lettering. It's Eric Weathers.
Like that.
And that's going to be the back cover to all the issues that are fulfilled through the campaign. It's a back cover sketched by Graham Nolan. Once it goes to retail, it'll just be like a ad for Starcross Comics.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. And then let's see. I don't use Indiegogo a lot, so I'm kind of like trying to figure out where everything is. So some of your pledge levels, I see you have that you could be drawn into issue 2.
Yeah, for issue 2, we're already my artist. I'm using a different artist for issue 2, but he's already starting to work on the pages for issue 2, and so we have 2 different drawn-in perks where you can either be a henchman or a police officer.
Oh, cool. And you see the Tucci cover will be $12, which ain't too bad.
And I'll update that as soon as we get the pencils in.
Actual image, yeah.
Yeah. And the Shelby Robertson cover is going to be exclusive to the campaign.
Nice. So the Tucci one's the main cover? Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
6-pack, and then there's what you said about the drawn in to be a police officer.
Right. And that's anybody who signed up for the campaign prior to launching is getting a free art print done by Andy Smith, and the original art's for sale for that.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's just it's a concept art I had that was done, and the original art for that's up for sale as well.
Oh, and then you're selling Graham Nolan
for sale. And I had a commission done. It's the Tin Soldier versus Aaron Lepresti's Garbage Man, and the original art was up for sale for that as well.
That's cool. And then the actual art for the Billy Tucci cover.
Mm-hmm. So. I think that'd be pretty interesting. It's character's first appearance by Billy Tucci, and it's the cover of the book. So
yeah. I mean, if I had $750, I'd get that. So we have 48 days. How long was this campaign when you?
It's a 60-day campaign, and it's 48. Yeah, just 48 days left.
So, what was your inspiration for? I mean, I assume that you're the creator of this character. So, like, what
Right.
was the inspiration for the Tin Soldier?
It just kind of came to me, I've thought about it for a long time, and I found Indiegogo and just thought it was a possibility, and just I'd start and scribble and write, and it just kind of all came together.
Nice. Is this your first foray into comics?
It is.
Nice. Very cool. And how many pages is the?
It's 24 pages of story, so 30 pages or 28 pages.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate looking at your Is that an Indiegogo?
Yeah.
This.
Oh, okay. Where's the link to that?
I will be sharing it in once because I don't unless if someone if you want to share it in the chat, then I'll be able to add it. But I mean I could do it here, but it's a pain.
She wants y'all to know real quick.
Oh,
what?
She wants y'all to know real quick that in issue 2, she's got a character that she created that's going to be in it.
Oh, that's
what?
Cool.
Oh my God! That's astonishing. Oh my God! I cannot wait to get that issue. You have to sign the issue. You have to sign the copy when I back the issue for number 2.
Kaylee signatures.
Kaylee, I need a signature on the cover of the book saying that, like, hey, look, yeah. I signed it because I'm awesome.
Yeah. And that means you can go to conventions and get a creator badge because
yes, and charge like $10 per signature. Definitely charge because you're a very cute, lovely lady, and you can easily get money off of these people. So just I'm Kaylee.
Yeah,
I designed a character. You say it like this. So I'm Kaylee. I designed a character. Give me money, and they will. And, don't forget that. Don't forget that. I'm British, so I know what I'm talking about.
He's British with a New York accent. How about that?
Yeah. I'm from the New York part. I'm from the Brooklyn part of London.
So, is this an ongoing? Is it a limited series? Like,
it's going to be ongoing. It's going to be ongoing. We've already got issue 2 written and the artwork started.
Nice. Are you going to eventually put out like a graphic novel, like for each story arc? Like how long is the story?
We'll go do trades just whenever it kind of fits for it wraps up a arc. Oh,
that's cool. Very cool. Yeah. So there's something else I wanted to ask, and my brain is shot. So.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear it.
Oh. Hey, I have an excuse.
I don't want to hear it. I don't.
Rich has sleep deprivation.
I don't. What's sleep?
Yeah.
What's sleep?
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of that Russian sleep experiment in the 40s when we start eating our own flesh after about 5 days. I'm really hungry right now. So.
It's that gap between your live sessions. That's what sleep is.
The only thing that I have is the gap between my teeth at this point.
But so 48 days. We're at 693. I mean, that's. As I said, you're almost halfway there already. So it looks really good. I'm gonna tell, like I tell everybody, I'm a sucker for superhero books because almost all the books I do are superhero books. And so chances are, if I see a superhero book, I usually back it because I'm always trying to look for good superhero stories. So I'm sorry if you can hear this. Usually there's nobody here, and tonight we have like 50 people here. So it's like noisy as crap in the next room. Like if I can hear them through these headphones, I know they're loud. But let me.
Do you have a digital copy of this?
Yeah, that was what.
I don't have up as a perk. I might add it.
Yeah, because
I want to back this, but since it's in the United States, it's another 25
$500.
British pounds. Yeah, just to ship it.
Yeah.
Yeah, shipping.
I want to back this. If you come out with a digital copy, please let me know or something, because if I order the lowest tier possible, I'll still wind up paying like 40.
Yeah.
And I don't have that kind of money just yet.
Listen to him. He's acting like he's not
All
independently
modest.
wealthy. Told him if
Well, you got a month and a half on this campaign, so
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. I'm interested in this. It looks good.
Is it? It's a fixed goal, so it's one of those ones where you have to get to $1,500. Is that? Because I'm still learning Indiegogo.
Yeah, Indiegogo has two of them. It has a
$1,500.
flexible and a fixed. Most artists go for the flexible because at the very least, if you get to a certain point, you're covering the print cost.
Yeah.
And you're still getting it. If you go for the fixed, you better be pretty confident about what you have. So.
Well, I'm gonna grab that link and drop it here in the chat for everybody else, if it lets me. Sometimes Indiegogo links are sometimes hard to get a hold of. Like, it doesn't want to work for me sometimes. I don't know what it is. But I'm dropping the link for it in there. Hopefully. There we go.
Yep, there it is.
All right. So that is... Now I got to close it. The Relentless Tin Soldier. We have still, like I said, 48 days left. And we're about halfway there. So, I mean, if I had been in that long, if you take it and halfway there, I'd be happy. My project, it didn't get halfway there until the last week. So, and I was in the hospital dying at the time. So, I literally
had
was.
more important things to think about.
So, but luckily, other people in the community made sure I didn't fail, because I couldn't even share it. I have my phone, so I don't even have things I could share them with. So, but that is awesome. I will go ahead and check that out, because like I said, I am a big superhero person. Which brings me to another question. I got to bring out my list again. My silly nilly questions. If you could be a supervillain, who would you be and why?
Superman.
Superman? He's not a supervillain.
If I was Superman, I'd be a villain.
Oh, I see. So,
you'd be... I'd be a villain. I'd be a horrible villain. not Homelander or Omni-Man. Omni-Man's a duty head. I have other words for Omni-Man or Homelander, but there is a young lady present, so I will not use such foul language.
If you go with the crime syndicate in DC Comics, you'd be Ultraman.
Ultraman. Ooh, Ultraman. No. He snorts kryptonite. He grinds it up, and he's listening to Grandmaster Flash while he's doing it. It's like, it's like green lights. He's the Ultraman. That's his only power source. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's the only way he has the super powered abilities. He's a drug addict. And there's only so much kryptonite you can get, it's like, and I would villain. Oh God. I would choose Loki. I would choose Loki because his mind is so sharp, and he's so quick-witted, and he's fast, and he's deadly without you even knowing it. Yeah, I would pick Loki, and he's a lot. And it looks like from the TV show, he's a lot more powerful than he's ever let on. So yeah. I would pick Loki immediately. Absolutely, Loki.
On mine, it's not necessarily he's a villain. He's not really a super villain or anything. For some reason, just a lot of the standard superheroes just don't appeal to me too terribly much. I mean, I like the movies, but for the comics and stuff like that, which is really weird because, you know, most of the comics, there's all some sort of superhero. But I like the characters like Joker, where they're just, you know, mentally insane and just crazy. And, I mean, yes, he's a villain, but at the same time, he doesn't have a whole lot of superpowers. I mean, besides, like, Bruce Wayne's rich and just can build all his gadgets. But I've always liked the Joker, just the crazy, you know, whether it be mental health or whatever, whichever background you want to go with, because there's been several different ones and nobody really knows because they won't make up their mind.
Well, most of Batman's villains aren't super villains.
Exactly.
There ain't many that actually have superpowers. I mean, there's only a few.
Well, he's got to be able to defeat them somehow.
Yeah, and so they're not really superpowers. Like, you know, you have like Clayface. You know, he doesn't really have any powers. He can just change the way he looks. So it's nothing that like really makes him powerful. It's just
that's one hell of a power.
Yeah.
The other one that I tend to like a lot, it's just because I like the character, especially the comic book version, was the Green Goblin. I've always liked Spider-Man. I was in Carnage and Venom and that whole series when they were all come out there. But I've always liked the Green Goblin as a villain. I know he didn't have a whole lot of superpowers, but at the same time, it's just something appealing to him. I've always been a bad guy fan more than I have been the superhero. I always root for the bad guy, knowing they're going to lose. Kind of why my story is around a bad guy.
Nice. How about you, Nicholas? Who is your favorite supervillain?
It'd be Sabretooth. The extended life, the healing factor, pretty much that Wolverine power set. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. See, John says in the chat, he says Bane. I'll go with Bane. But why, Jonathan? You just can't give us a name. It's who it would be and why.
Leave us.
Oh, Bane poops in the water. But I guess, see, I have so many. The thing I have a problem with is anytime a villain becomes popular, then they turn him into an anti-hero. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, man. Because I know earlier you had said something about Deadpool. And one of my other questions is something like, I don't even remember how I wrote it down somewhere, but something that you believe in that no one else does really, that you'll take to your grave. And mine is Deadpool that we have now, and I don't care what Rob Liefeld says, that is not the Deadpool he created. If you go back and read New Mutants and you read X-Force when he first appeared, he was not like anything like he is now. He had different powers, like he could teleport. You know, he was crazy, but he didn't break the fourth wall. He was just this like crazy, like assassin guy. But then when he got a little bit popular, Marvel like made him a hero, and they had to make his craziness be something that they could sell. And it's
it's not the exact same anymore.
No. I liked him better when he first came out, when he was a villain. He was fighting Cable. Like, they even made like him be Cable's best friend, which was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Let's see, what did he say? Because he's a monster, he made himself into a monster, and he's hella smart too. And he's a wrestler, right? That's what the whole mask was. Depending on which version of Bane you believe in.
No one knew who I was until I put on the mask.
That was my two friends who are no longer with us. They would always do that. Oh, poops in the water.
Peekaboo, I see you. I see Kelly.
Batman used the gun when he first appeared. Yeah, in that old, like the original series, which is weird because that isn't his thing. Like now it's like so anti-gun. He doesn't like that. And
he's a tree-hugging liberal.
Hey, Carlos. All right. We're going to go ahead and hit our second book of the night. This is a book that I think is kind of... Rich has been on, like I said, this is his third time. He came on before the book launched. but now it's launched, and he has some other stuff he wants to share with us for the book. But we'll go to Kickstarter first, and so we can see how that's doing and share it with you a little bit. And we can't see Rich because he just turned into John Cena.
Okay. Hi. All right. Yeah.
Here, hold on, let me.
Yeah, I am. Okay. You ever see that Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's a baseball player and he goes up against all those guys and the announcer's like, first baseman, Bugs Bunny, second baseman, Bugs Bunny. Well, that's me without the baseball and the bunny thing. I happen to be the writer, the penciler, the inker, the colorist, the letterer.
He's the baker,
the relations guy. I'm the butcher, the baker, the
candlestick maker.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am all of that and a Big Mac. This whole thing is me. Everything is me. Yay.
It sounds like you're a control freak, Rich.
No, I just don't trust anybody.
I understand.
I'm poor as hell. I don't. Well, I'm not poor, but it just looks like.
Yeah.
There's too many people that with all due respect to a lot of people who are colorists or something, that when I try and tell someone what I want for the coloring, they can't do it. And I'm like, it's the simplest thing in the world, and they still can't do it. So I'm like, all right, I'll just do the damn thing myself. And I did. Well, I did. I learned how to color in like I knew how to color from before, but Rich can tie shotguns into knots and dress in a dragon and chicken. Yeah, I can do all that and a bag of chips. Yeah, I do it well, as good looking as I am. So there you go. But yes, this is the second chapter of the of Cassandra's initial 4-chapter journey into her new life as someone who could potentially be the master of the mystic arts. We became a project we love roughly a week and a half ago. The goal is 2,500 British pounds, or roughly 3,500 American. I'm at 2,800 now after 15 days. After 13 days, actually, because we just crossed the 15-day plateau.
Yeah, you have 15 days to go. So
yeah, 15 days to go. I got close to $3,000 in 2 weeks, which is great, and it's good because about 40% of my backers are new.
Nice,
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm just waiting for the other guys who backed the first one, who loved it so much. I'm like, okay, well, can you back it before this thing goes away, please?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't see that. I mean, you're less than $100. I mean, less than $1,000. I'm going to try to do math right now, but $600 roughly.
I got 800. I have maybe 700 to go if I'm really going to go that far. Yeah, maybe I'll get it. I'm playing it soft and easy and everything. I will admit, when I put this Kickstarter together, it wasn't as polished as the first one, and the first one wasn't really polished at all. So if you can do me a favor and maybe, well, what did I send you? I sent you those 6 slides that I was going to do.
Yes, those.
What else did I show you?
And there was colored pages.
Yes. Let me show you. I want to show you what I'm working with. If you could show a few of those pages.
Yeah, let me bring them up quick as soon as I.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I gotta actually. Oh, did I already open it? Oh, yeah, it's on the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Computers and me, don't 100% get along. Okay, let me
stop this. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I have to stop that one.
Oh, who's the young man? Hello, Will Jr. Probably. What's his name? Is that your son?
Okay. Why?
I can't hear him.
I think he's muted.
I think he is muted.
Oops, I had it muted because of him. This is Noah. He's
Hello,
a Power
Noah.
Ranger fan.
Hey, Power Ranger. Who's your? It's the red one, I'm thinking.
Yep.
All right.
Red
Wow.
one's his favorite.
That's brilliant powers of observation I have. Hi Noah, how are you? Are you proud? How do you feel about Daddy doing a comic book? Are you
How do you feel
proud
about
of him?
Daddy doing a comic book? Good.
Is it
You gonna say
awesome?
hi?
Hi
Okay.
Noah. It's so cool to see you, man.
Wave at him.
You should be very proud of your daddy. He put together a really nice comic book. Yeah, this is a PDF of some of the pages that I've colored already. Yeah, this is all me. That cover over on the left side, I might as well say it because the other place that I'm going to reveal it is an entirely different audience. That's going to be the cover on the left is going to be an Indiegogo exclusive cover.
So this
Yeah,
Indiegogo cover.
Yeah,
Nice.
One's an Indiegogo. The one on the right is the Kickstarter. So
Very cool.
yeah, not bad. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And these are the first pages. And once again, this is all my art, all this stuff, yumminess. This is from the prologue, in which I said before that we get to see the origins of we get to see the story of how the Incantesi, the remaining Incantesi, managed to trap the Wrath in an extra-dimensional prison forever instead of just killing him outright. So we have stuff like that. If you want to scroll through quick, James, because I don't want to take up any of Will's time. Right over here. If you want to just keep scrolling, I'll just do quick. That's where they come home. That's where they come home. But she has to take care of business because the Wrath. Secretly, she's affiliated with the Wrath, but she got really pissed because they tried to kill her niece. So she seals them in their department forever, or so it seems. So there's stuff like that. Blah blah blah. There's resolution. They're all talking and everything. And thankfully, I'm using this type of format where it's like 4 issues of 48 pages because I'm trying to establish characters and dialogue. I'm trying to make sure that, I am making sure that we all get a really good idea of who the characters are and how they feel after a while and, how the story is moving. I'm introducing a couple of new characters here who are going to help out Cassandra without even realizing they're going to help her out. Dante and Finch. Check out which one is Dante, the Wolverine wannabe.
And the other one is a football
the other one's
fan.
Finch. The other one is Finch. She's half Italian, half black. She lives in Italy. No, they're in Italy actually right now. They're in Milan. So that's actually San Rafael General Hospital. Yeah, I had to get reference for that one too. That was fun. This is a double-page spread describing in a very loose term who the Incantesi actually were. And that's pretty awesome. And there's some conflict there. There's answering a door, and then there's a little bit of avarice. There's an attack, blah, blah, blah. There's a death here and there. And then for the last page, there's the big reveal of Cassandra's costume.
Oh, yes. Last time you were on, you showed us the line art for that.
Yeah, I just finished coloring that like a day after or something. Yeah, that's very some fun stuff, man. I got to tell you. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, I'm actually almost. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
I just love the way you color this. Like,
thank you. Wow. Thanks,
I mean, as a colorist, that's one of the first things I notice, and it's just like that muted colors. Like it just fits well with the line art. It's not trying to overtake the line art. Like I'm not a fan of like what everyone likes to do these days with like really rendering colors and all this fancy schmancy stuff on it. Yeah,
you really oversaturation is too much. My inspiration for that, believe it or not, was a movie called Payback. It starred Mel Gibson, Greg Henry, and some blonde chick from ER or something. I don't know. Chris Christopherson. I don't know why the fuck I remember him over fucking the blonde chick. But she was hot, but that's all I remember. And the one thing that I liked about the way that the film looked is that it it was purposely muted in saturation of color, and what it's like the contrast between American food and British food. Now, British food, that preservatives and sugars and flavoring and stuff like that, that's not really a thing here, whereas in the United States it is. And the lessening of the flavors of the food makes you appreciate it a little bit more, because you're not tasting it as much. You're just getting that right satisfactory feeling. And that's how I feel that a lot of coloring should, because, I mean, you can have some effects and all that stuff as long as it's placed the right way.
Yeah.
If you oversaturate everything, it's going to drown out all of your art. And if you do that, you don't know where the story is going to go. You're not going to be able to focus on which way it's going to go. So that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, that's how I usually do it. Do we have time to show the rewards adjustment?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring that up next real quick.
All right, let's do that quickly. Again, I don't want to take any time from Will.
Okay, share. Okay, now where do I have that? Chrome tab.
There's Noah and someone. Hey man, there's someone lurking behind you. Gentlemen, you're the man with the cap. What's your name again?
Nick.
Yeah,
Nick.
There's someone lurking behind you.
Someone lurking behind you.
Yeah, man. It's like, I was like, it looked like the person just walked by, and for some reason the theme from Jaws came to my head. like this thing was gonna eat you. Better watch your back, bro. I'm telling you, those sharks.
Appreciate
they
it.
just eat you. Yum. That's it.
All right.
There's mine. Now I had to, again, like I said, the second Kickstarter, like the first one wound up working. You know, I got lucky. This one I had no excuse, so I kind of screwed up. I was too consumed with the damn story to really pay attention to it. So I've decided halfway through the campaign to do edits to rewards. Now I didn't put it there, but if you back the project, whoever's there, you get digital copies of chapters 1 and 2, even if you got chapters 1 before, because I want it to be all nice and even. And everybody who backs will get, for anybody who saw the alternate cover and the original cover, you get prints of those.
Nice.
A4 size prints, which are like letter size, and they're signed by the artist, which would be moi. So that's good on that one. So if you want to go to the next one, please.
Yep. Hold on, let me.
That's all right. No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I just gotta bring it back up again. Because I hit the wrong button. Chrome tab.
Hallelujah.
Is that the right one? There we go. And these are the updated
reward tiers. Da, da, da.
All right.
Yes, and this is a benefit of the book now, because now you have 60 pages of story in contrast to having 48 for the first issue.
Wow.
Yes, I'm putting in a little bit extra. I'm only charging a tiny bit extra because I want everybody to have the book. But yeah, this one is a doozy. Like I said, it has the prologue and the epilogue of how the remaining Incantesi trapped the Wrath in the extra dimensional prison, and at the same time, it introduces 5 new characters, and that's going to go towards stretch goals at the last one. But yeah, let's go to the next one, which is probably that one, so you can go to the next one after that.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Now, I was very surprised. I had 8 pieces of artwork that I was going to sell and to have for backing rewards, and 5 of them got scooped up in like 2 hours. Yeah, and this is what's left. Yeah, thank you. This is what's left. I decided to get the damn thing funded. I decided to lower the cost for a lot of these artwork. The double page spread was £200. Now it's 175. I may even lower that to 150 because of the exchange rate. It's still 200 for American money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
is.
That's nothing for a 2-page spread. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely nothing for a 2-page spread.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, you know what the beauty of it is? I could draw it again. So, you know. It's not like that's it. It's like, oh no, I can't draw anymore. Oh damn.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that. The next page is the one that's the before the hero reveal page, and I have an offer here. You can see these really, really awesome commissions that I've drawn, especially the one with Captain Caveman. That was dope. I have an offer that a special Kickstarter commissions offer. They were 110 with postage. Now they're 80, and the postage is included. So I'm dropping that dramatically.
Yeah, that's what 30 pounds. So
30 pounds, which is a good $50.
Yeah.
Because I love drawing commissions. B, I'm a show off because I do these things live anyway. And C, I do want to get everybody to have the art that I have because I'm very proud of it. So, and there's only 5 available. So whoever's there, if they want a commission with that price, better make sure you get it. Because if you don't, you're missing out.
And I think there's one.
I think there's one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, stretch goals.
Stretch
Okay, once we hit the stretch goals, the last page that you saw, the one where we see Cassandra in her full costume, that becomes a print.
Oh,
And it's an A4 print. It gets signed to everybody. Now, if what does the 3,000 say?
It says set of Incantesi chibi stickers for all backers.
Yes, I'm going to draw Incantesi as a little chibi, and I'm going to have her like putting stickers and stuff like that, and everyone's going to get them. Like about maybe 4 stickers, and then I'm going to include the Incantesi logo, which only I knew. Actually, it's very easy to do. The next one is trading cards of all the characters, with the exception of the Doctor. He's just a regular guy. And he's superfluous anyway.
I like 5,000.
Oh yeah, 5,000's fun. 5,000 is the dare. 5,000. Well, because I got to a point in the campaign for the first one where it's like, if I reach 3,500 American dollars, I will shave my head. And I had like an Italian afro. It's like this big goofy thing where it's like it had a circumference. It wasn't just hair, it had its own mind and body. And when I reached that goal, my hair was so thick that I had to like cut it with scissors and then hit it with the buzzer. And I've never seen my scalp before after that. So before that. So I was like, damn. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna go for the gusto. If I get 5,000 British pounds, I'm gonna have my chest waxed just like Steve Carell did in 40-Year-Old Virgin. And then show everybody that it's like, hey, I look like a man-o'-lantern.
You have to live stream it though, so we can actually see it happen.
I live streamed the cutting of my hair.
Nice.
And there were some ladies who were like, no, don't cut your hair, please don't. Ooh. I was like, baby, I just got to do it.
Rich's head was so big it had 2 smaller Italian pompadours orbiting around its head.
That's right, and they were called Luigi and Mario, and they just circled around my freaking head all day. God, I'm such a Kenzo. But yes, that's the stuff that I have offering seriously, and the 3,500 one, I think it's 3,500.
Is the trading cards?
Yeah, the trading cards. There's going to be a set of I think either 8 or 10 trading cards. We're going to have that. I may even turn that into a game. That's a great idea. I know, right? Damn. So I'm going to have to think about that one. Well, I'm also working on tarot cards also. Good God help me. Anyway, yeah, this is that's the stretch goals that we're going to get hopefully when we get the 2,500. But once we get the 2,500, even if we get the 2,501, I'm going to make sure that we print the last page on an A4 size or letter size, really high quality paper, which of course I'm going to sign it. And let's hope we get there. So anybody out there who wants a really good commission or wants to buy a page or just wants to get a book, by all means, please.
Very cool.
Back the Kickstarter. I have 2 weeks to go.
Very nice. I enjoyed the first one. I could finally get around to reading it. I just have a stack of stuff like this high.
Oh yeah. Well, what'd you think?
It was good. At first, it's not my normal book that I would.
It's okay. It's not a lot of people's normal.
But
that's true.
Because I liked it because I'm not I don't read Doctor Strange or anything. You know what I mean? It's just not my thing. But I really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to get the second one so I can.
You have 14 days.
14 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. But let me close that page so I can.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, James, for letting me open my mouth. I want to hear Will's stuff.
Yes, we're going to go right into
Save
Will's.
the best for last.
And then I have my last willy-nilly question. So let me. So I grab this first. I need like a producer that can do all this side stuff for me while I'm trying to. Do you know what I mean? Like grab all these links and. Don't have to, like,
Well, this works good because I piggybacked off of Rich on a launch date and the end date, so I kind of followed his suit.
Nice.
It's Pop's fault.
Yeah. Everything is Pop's fault. Ask him; he'll tell you.
Exactly.
At least everyone blames it on him anyway. So.
I actually had delayed my launch. It was supposed to launch earlier, but I delayed it just for the fact I wanted to make sure my campaign or my comic was 100% done before we launched it.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. That's what happened with me for my first one. It was ready to go. This one, I still have pages to finish, and I haven't even typed up any of the words yet. I'm going.
It's
to,
all right.
It'll be done, but I'm going to die shortly with all of that.
I don't need that. There we go.
Well, as long as it funds, the death will be worth it. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But no one will
Everybody
get
always
their
says
book.
they're famous after they die, but
oh my God, no! I don't want to be famous after I die. I'm already famous now.
He wants to reap the benefits of being famous.
Yes, I want to be on a reality show where all these, and just work for absolutely and get money for absolutely nothing, or being like a bastard or something like that.
And then you get to become like one of those. You get to become like one of those influencers and never have to work another day in your life, right?
Barf. Barf.
All right. So here we go with Heel Turn. Pro Wrestling meets Dexter. So we have, 16 days to go. We still need $1,047 if I'm doing my math right, which that isn't, I mean, if anyone knows anything about Kickstarter, that's really nothing to worry about really at this point, because I know like I tell everybody, in that last 2 or 3 days is when I finally I didn't think I was going to fund until then. So, so tell us a little bit about Heel Turn.
Will, are you there?
Can you hear us, Will?
Shit.
Will, we can't hear you. Oh, he's muted. Here. Oh, I can't. Let him know he's muted. Somebody.
I am.
All right. Will, you have to start over. We can't hear you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, hey, let me see if I can do this. Oh, there's Will. Oh, we didn't hear anything you said, Will, because you were muted the whole time.
Well, I'm having technical difficulties with my mic right now, so I had to switch. My headset decided to stop working right in the middle of all this.
That's always fun. I used to have. Well, I still do.
There it goes again.
Repair. I had like a Bluetooth once, and they'd always show, so I went old school with a wire.
Yeah, this headset was working just fine, and then right as you introduced me, it decided to stop working.
Isn't that how it always goes?
So I'll just go to the computer mic and see what happens.
All right. All right.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Good.
Okay.
So, Heel Turn. It's an independent wrestler meets Dexter, right?
Yes, sir. So it's basically a story, you actually follow his life where he works at the call center. Then you'll see him you'll see a little behind the scenes as he gets ready for a match. You'll actually see some wrestling action because he's a independent professional wrestler. And then you'll see what causes the trigger in the first one that leads him to kill his next victim. He is a serial killer. It has been going on for years. He has yet to leave any kind of traces, get anybody to catch on to him, anything like it. This first story kind of gives you the background of that. You start seeing what sets him off. And this is the first of a series of 7. Introduced in the second one, it's actually one of the reward levels we'll go over here in a little bit. Introduced into the second one will be the FBI agent that is attempting to connect the dots and see if they can figure out who the serial killer actually is.
Very cool.
That sounds really great, actually.
Yeah, it's unique, so that's always.
It is unique. It's very unique.
Yeah, so right there where you saw right above, there's a free download link. You can click it. It'll actually give you the first, I can't remember if it's 6 or 8 pages I gave away of this actual comic. It's the first couple of pages of this comic. Get the free preview. Further down, there's a link where you can download the number 0 origin story. You actually see his very first human kill, how he started the whole process, what led to it. And it's actually a good introduction into the story itself, so you can actually connect dots that won't be connected till later on in the series.
Nice.
So this cover right here is the original is the standard cover. It's the 2 faces of Ethan. You have Ethan Edwards, the man, and Ethan Edwards, the wrestler, and Ethan Johnson, the man.
Nice. I could see, as a wrestling fan, I can see a lot of inspirations in that mask. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a couple different types of inspiration. You got Penta's face. You've got there's a variety of them in there. You got the Blue Demon color. You've got all sorts of them. I wanted to kind of go in there. I was also a big fan of ECW back in the day, so the wrestling style that he has, along with his temper and stuff like that, is the extreme style. If you follow independent wrestling, you see, you think of companies like CZW and places like that that do a lot of the hardcore extreme matches.
Yeah.
This right here is a variant cover. It's a Kickstarter exclusive. We actually have reward levels and add-ons where you can have yourself drawn in the crowd. We released on CromCon with Pops. He's not in here yet, but on another version of it, we have Pops drawn in the crowd. So it's kind of you can actually have yourself drawn in and play Where's Waldo on the cover. We've started coloring it. Obviously, it's not fully colored because we got to wait and draw in all of the individuals that want to be added in the likeness. But we have a reward level a couple reward levels where you can be in the crowd. I also offered a add-on where you can do a digital, for instance, for our international fans. You can do a digital PDF, but you do the add-on and you can have yourself drawn in.
Oh,
cool.
So I wanted to give a little bit more towards the international customers because, like Rich said, shipping is outrageous.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So, and here's some of the interior pages.
Mm.
Yeah, here's a few. This is his normal call center job. His daily 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever.
So who's on your team for this book? Like, who's the artist?
So the artist, I always butcher his name, so I call him. The closest thing to the English language for his name is Hughes. So his name is Hughes Rios. I used to call him Hario Rios just because of the way I was learned, but apparently I've been saying it wrong. This is actually his very first entry into sequential art. He is a drawer. He does a lot of storyboard art for marketing and stuff like that in Brazil. And this is his very first ever sequential art story. Because of us, we actually have, which you'll see here in a minute, we've teamed up with the creators of Yule, Livid Comics, and all them. He's actually going to be working with them. We're actually offering a print I'll go over when we get to it. And then our colorist is a guy named Baca. I always pronounce it Baca. I don't know how you actually say it, but it's B
Let me guess, his
Studio.
first name is Chu.
Yeah,
True.
no, it's Bees. No, Bees Studio. They're the ones that did the coloring on like the Killer Roo books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I used them as the colorist on this, and they actually did quite well. So the funny part is that main character right there that you see yelling at him is actually a personal friend of mine. I had to draw him in the book just because you got to draw your friends in when you run out of characters sometimes in the middle of things.
Agreed.
Yep.
And you can always draw your characters in you can draw your friends into positions that they don't really care about. Other people sometimes have issues.
Yeah, it's true.
So I wanted to give, like, for this is kind of we want to give a little over dramatic, but also kind of behind the scenes, if you've never been to an independent wrestling show, kind of the interaction that you actually can get at an indie show. You go to a mainstream show, a WWE, AEW, New Japan, things like that, you're not going to get this kind of interaction 99% of the time. You go to independent shows, they're out there, they're hustling because they make more. It's like comic creators. We make more money at shows than we do actually putting the comics out normally.
Yeah, like they're lucky they make $50 going to a wrestling event. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And it covers their gas to get there and maybe some food, but
yeah, they usually have gas, the travel expenses and food covered. But if they want to make any kind of money, hawking the merchandise is where it's at.
Yep.
So, we had to add that aspect in there. This right here is a crossover. Hughes drew it. Joel from Yule is the actual colorist.
From Noel, or what's it called? They were just on the show a couple weeks ago.
It's Jol, but it's pronounced Yule.
Yule, that's it. Yeah,
we did a crossover with them. We're going to do a cross promotion. So if you back Hilturn at any physical level and you back Yule at any physical level, you will get this print automatically for free. Yeah. All you got to do is back both comics and you get this print.
I think I did that.
So all you got to do, if you've backed both of them, just contact either me or John. When the campaign's complete, we'll confirm on both. Even if for some odd reason this doesn't fund, you'll still get it because his is already funded. I have a feeling this will fund. I'm not worried so much about that, but you'll get this print if you've funded both of them on a physical level for sure. And the cool thing is it's the crossover between the artists as well as the campaigns.
Yeah. And this is all the happy go. Okay, so here's some of your. This is some of the add-ons. Is that what this is?
This is add-ons, but these are also included in the reward level. So I'll have you scroll down the rewards here in just a second. But this is kind of some of the images of our rewards. And then a lot of these rewards I've offered as add-ons in case you don't want one of the packages with everything.
Yeah, so let me see if there's... I hate the way this doesn't want to scroll right. All right, so we have... it says your 9 to 5. So this is your digital PDF.
Yep.
Right? For $5.
It's digital PDF with the standard cover. We also have the next one's a little bit more, but it's both PDF or both covers. It's a PDF with both covers.
Okay.
The employee of the month. If you'll notice my theme, I actually alternate the titles between a normal job and a professional wrestling title.
Yeah.
The employee of the month. It's the print edition of the standard cover, plus you get the PDF. The next one is number one fan. It's basically the same thing except for it's the variant cover, which is the one that you have you can have your face drawn in. You can get that. I do have a retailer bundle for anybody that has comic book stores and want it. I've actually priced them quite well for those people that want to put them in their store and actually get them out there. $25 level. It's the print edition, the digital. Thank you. And if you scroll up in the middle there, just a second, is the poster. It's the top right image, right there. That is going to be an 11 by 17 poster that was drawn by Hughes. Noah. The next level, it's the same thing except for it's the variant cover, basically.
Nice.
Then we've got this one is kind of a little bit more loaded. It's your standard cover with both trading cards added on as well. And the trading cards, the A is your wrestling trading card. It's Ethan Edwards, and then you have Ethan Johnson, who is your normal psychopath.
Nice.
And yes, I said normal psychopath.
Honest lawyer, tomato.
Yeah, honestly.
The next one, it's the exact same thing, but with a variant cover. A lot of my rewards, I kind of, did one of each.
Yeah.
And some people want the variant. The variant is going to be a Kickstarter exclusive. You're not going to. My plan is once this is done to probably move over to Indiegogo and get some of those. But this cover is not going to be available on Indiegogo. It's Kickstarter only. You're not going to get this at a table. You're not going to get, other than backing it here.
Yes. So there won't be any more printed than what you need to fulfill the backers.
Yeah, there's going to be a few extra for that encase factor, but they're never going to see the light of day outside of maybe promotional images on my table. And a few select people, staff members that are going to get it because they're part of the project. This is actually one of the catch-alls. You get both print edition. You get the print edition of both covers. You get both digitals, both trading cards, the thank you. I'm actually working on a reward level that will be coming out later on this week. That's going to be a add-on plus a reward level of digital. It's a group of digital comics. I was on a show earlier today and was talking with people, and I'm getting a group of digital comics put together that we're just going to have as a reward level. It's going to be a bundle that we're going to include He'll Turn In on.
Nice.
From a variety of independent creators and stuff like that. I've already had some people, Ed Davis, Luke Stone, the 5-star guys. I've had them already offer to back some up. So we're working on that. It'll be out. I'll announce that probably beginning of the week if I don't get it done by the end of the weekend. This one is the first one that has the likeness in the crowd. So you get the print edition. Your likeness is in the crowd. The promo, and that's it. Then we have other ones a little bit further down, which actually we've sold a couple of these. Again, your likeness. It's the print editions that the Kickstarter exclusive and the trading cards. Same exact thing, except for we add a little bit more in there. And one thing that we've just recently done, I haven't announced it yet, but all physical rewards are going to have a signature card. Due to shipping rates and due to the international artist, we're going to do signature cards that are going to be included in all of them instead of the signature on the book. If you want my signature on the book, I'll give that as an option, but we'll have signature cards with mine and Hario's signature. That's going to be a custom card included in every one of the print options.
That's cool.
Again, this is just, more of it's more stacked rewards. It's kind of a little bit of it's a catch-all. You kind of get all the rewards kind of together with this package, minus the T-shirts. You go down to the next one, same thing. We're going to start adding T-shirts here in just a second. Is this the one? Yeah, okay. So this one actually right there is the meat tenderizer. So you've got the exclusives. You're also going to get a custom A4 size sketch by Hario. Or it's Hughes. I keep butchering his name. Sorry. Hughes will actually do a custom sketch on an A4 print that we'll add into this. And then I'm making a limited number of wooden meat tenderizers. They're going to be engraved with the logo, the website. They're going to be numbered and sealed. And they're not for real use. I'm not liable if you decide to go murder somebody like Ethan does. But we're going to give it out. There's only going to be 15 or 16 of these made total. 15 of them are going to go to rewards. One of them is going to stay for marketing purposes. But this is the first level you can get those. On our higher packages, like this right here, it's a catch-all. You can get this. We also offer a this the level with that. That's got the sketch. That's got the trading cards, the meat tenderizer. You're also listed as a top level backer. You get a little bit more promotions.
Yeah.
The next one, we have a hardcover option for book 1. We are going to do a trade at the end of the 7. We're going to put a trade of all 7 of them together.
All right, so this is like kind of prepaying for the hardcover?
The cover's included. No, this one's you actually get the cover of the first edition because this one right here at $400, you're actually the victim in book 2.
Oh, okay.
That's the main thing is you're drawn in, you're the victim, and the way the story is written, because the script is pretty much done for book 2 already, but the way it is written is you're the victim, so you'll be seen all throughout book 2 in various stages of life, and then you will be featured in future ones in different flashback scenes or different things like that to prolong the story and to connect the dots. So you will be seen in other books, but you're the victim in this one, so you're a main character in the second book. And then our last reward level is the FBI agent. He debuts in book 2 and stays through book 7. So your likeness would be that agent if you have that kind of dough. I know not everybody. I love some of these levels, but I can't personally afford to back $700. Yeah. But at the same time, somebody might. And if they want that, they will be drawn in as the FBI agent, their name, their likeness, whatever they decide, and they'll be in there for the rest of the series. Because you become the antagonist on that one, basically.
That's some good tiers. I like that.
And I'm constantly sending out updates. I'm constantly trying to make changes. This is my first Kickstarter, so I'm learning different things as I go, as I talk to other creators, things of that nature. Most of these rewards I did wind up adding as add-ons. Like you can get T-shirts as add-ons. So if you don't necessarily want the higher, but you can just add on what you want if you don't want to package with everything.
Do you have any stretch goals or backer goals or anything like that?
I've got some lined up. I want to reach funding first, obviously, but I actually have custom turnbuckle pads that'll actually be the art printed on the custom turnbuckle pads. I've got those. I've also got wrestling buddies, like the old school, the beat up little stuffed animal wrestling buddies. A custom one of the Archangel of Extreme, Ethan Edwards, that we're going to have, if we can reach certain goals, we're going to have that. We're going to probably do a colored and print version of the number 0 to include for free for all levels on certain stretch goals. I haven't laid them out 100% yet because I want to make sure that I'm going to hit that funding goal first.
Yeah,
but
that's
we hit that funding goal. I've already got the legwork out. I just haven't figured out exact pricing or backer goals just yet because I want to make sure that funding goal is hit number 1.
Yeah. I just remember reading something, and I just want to. But as far as the wrestling part goes, what's your history with that to know? Because there's some people who think they're smart with wrestling, but it's usually quite different than what most people think.
I started in professional wrestling side as a graphic designer. I did graphic design, started with indie guys. I've actually done, if you watch AEW, Lance Hoyt, when he debuted and they had that video with the ring, his Everybody Dies t-shirt is my design. I actually designed it. He got it printed, and it was on TNT and on AEW all the time.
Nice done.
I've did a couple of different shirts for him. There was a couple of his American shirts and Everybody Dies shirts that were in New Japan when he was a star over there. That is all my designs. I've also did the DVD for, he was Ray Monroe in Ring of Honor, but now he is Eric out of the Viking Warriors on WWE. I've worked with them. Got started in that, and then my big connection was I was behind the scenes. I was the marketing guy for the National Wrestling Alliance when Bruce Tharp owned it. Bruce Tharp was the owner that sold it to Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, who currently owns it and has started bringing it back to life. When I was behind the scenes there, I ran the website. I ran the NWA Classics, which had the Paul Bosch, all the Houston territory days,
Nice.
all that footage. I was the one to help put together that. That was actually that one is the true very first time Andre the Giant was ever body slammed. It was Harley Race that did it. With sheer, just a sheer strength, because Harley Race was ungodly strong.
Yeah.
And then I was also the guy behind the scenes in 2015 for the NWA Ringside magazine. There were 7 magazines. I did all the layout. I wrote a little bit in it, but I was mostly the layout, the graphic guy, all that stuff for the magazine. So I've been behind the scenes in professional wrestling for a while.
Wow.
I've hung out with, I've interviewed and hung out with a lot of the old school legends. Worked with a lot of the guys that are just now making it on mainstream TV. So on my Facebook, there's a picture under people you should know, you would know. Like, it's me and AJ Styles with the famous, before they changed it, the old IWGP New Japan Heavyweight Championship when he was there.
Nice.
Got to hang out with him for a little bit, and that was before he ever went to WWE and now making millions of dollars. So I've had a background behind the scenes in professional wrestling. There's a few scenes where I've done some wrestling here and there, but not really. I'm not a wrestler. I was mostly behind the scenes, graphics, merch, things of that nature. So when it comes to the merchandise side of things, I've got that down pat. And I always thought, the travel that these indie guys do and all this stuff, I'm like, why? You know how easy it would be to get away with murder. So that's why, you're constantly in different areas. You're in different environments. People don't know you. So that's where the idea came from. And then it just slowly manifested itself. I had this idea probably back in 2017 and just wrote it down as an idea, and it just kind of manifested and eventually became the Hill Turn series.
Nice. Yeah, I have a little bit of history with NWA myself back in, when was it? Late 90s, early 2000s. NWA East out of Pittsburgh, when that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was trained there, me and a friend. Well, my friend got trained there, and I learned by osmosis because I would go with him every week to training, and then we'd come home and practice the moves on me, so I kind of learned that way. So like that's when Corey Graves was there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those guys. So I always kind of, when I see wrestling stuff, I like to see if the person who's behind it actually knows what they're talking about and not just trying to go like, I watched WCW in the 90s. I know what it's, and it's because besides superheroes, wrestling is another big thing. I was actually had SmackDown on mute while we still on the show, so I can watch it. But so that's cool. I mean, we have.
When I came in, it was right during that transition from the regime that you had with Bill Behrens and all of those guys. I can't remember. It was Bill Behrens and somebody else that was the regime.
Yeah. What was his name? The guy that ran that. He was the president, Jim something. It's like when TNA started, when they were NWA TNA. He was.
And you had Howard Brody and all of those guys. Well, Howard left, and some of the other ones left. So Bill Behrens was left. Not Bill Behrens, but there was another guy that was left, and I can't remember his name. He was a lawyer, and there was some legal stuff that happened, and Bruce Tharp and his group wound up taking over, and then I came in right as they took over and helped build the new website, do all of the stuff, and I helped induct, I think, 3 years worth of was on the board to decide who would be inducted into the NWA Hall of Fame. We actually did some work with Cauliflower Alley at the time, and to try to get some stuff in there. And that's when I was part of the reasons. Bruce was the main reason, but we got some of the NWA stuff at the Cauliflower Alley, the wrestling show up there when it was Vendetta Pro before they became affiliates.
Yeah.
And so definitely during that time, we were never the mainstream that it is becoming today and that it once was. But it's a cool piece of history that I got to be part of, and I liked it, and then I'm a huge wrestling fan, always have been. So I've got to stick with what you love. First off, I've actually got a superhero origin story written, but I want to focus on this before I start too many eggs in my basket.
Yeah, you don't want to be like me where I have like 10 projects going on at one time because my brain just constantly works on stuff.
Well, I mean, I really could be, but my wife tried to keeps me reeled in so that it don't happen that much.
Yeah. Well,
If she wasn't here, I'd be all over the place. I'd probably be like Rich, just on writing. However, not sleeping. I just can't draw. I can draw a stick figure, but that's about it.
see, I don't know how Rich feels, but I always tell people, they're like, "Oh, I can't draw." I was like, everybody can draw. Like, it's not, because being a good artist, like, there's people like, I see some artists that work in Marvel and stuff now. I'm like, how do these people even have a job? But somebody must have liked it because they have the job and I don't. Which is like,
No. It's a style guide type of thing.
Yeah.
You see, Marvel has always had a house style, one way or the other, and now it's the faux European look, and it sucks.
And none of their artists are from America. They're all like from someplace else.
Barfity, barf. I do not care. Guys,
I'm hoping I'm hoping to get an artist that lives near me. I'm working on trying to get him to do one. Jeremy Hahn. I don't know if he's got that Kickstarter. It's a horror anthology out. He's done a lot of stuff for Marvel, DC, Image, all of those guys.
So is Rich.
He actually is like 45 minutes away from me, so I'm trying to get him into doing it. Rich is too busy. Otherwise, I'll try to get him to draw something.
No, I'm too expensive.
Because you have to convert that to pounds.
This is why I work alone, because it's like, I mean, that's why I don't hire any colorists or anything, because it's like, I'm like, I need you to mute this. He's like, okay, and they don't fucking mute it. And I'm like, all right, I give up.
Yeah.
You want something done right, you got to do it yourself, even though I screw it up. So, it's one of those control things. It could be because I'm a raging narcissist. Who knows?
Maybe.
All right. I'm falling asleep.
Yep. We have one more question, and then I'm going.
Okay. All right.
Because I put it on the Facebook post, so I need to make sure everyone sees it. But what do you think is the best character design in comics?
As far as what?
Like,
the uniform?
Yeah, like the superhero costume, or just.
Wow. Oh my God, that's a tough one. Oh God, now you just woke me up. Well, it depends. Well, it's not so much that there's one that's the best. I think each uniform. I'm not going to say costume. I'm going to say uniform. Each uniform for each specific superhero has some sort of purpose, whether it's to display what motivates the person in him of himself, or does it serve a function behind just dressing? Because you could say that Batman's suit is the best designed costume, because the yellow where his Batman signal was, it was only yellow, so then any type of criminals would go. They would instinctively shoot for the bright object, but this bright object had like 200 layers of Kevlar. Adamantium couldn't get through that sucker. So it's like, hey, shoot here while I beat the crap out of you. There's free-flowing skin-type Kevlar around him that's better than a second skin. The gadgets and everything, not like the Liefeld pouches or anything along those lines. No, Batman's costume, if anything, is the best designed ones. It serves its purpose, but for me, it's like, for me, I'd have to say it would be, oh God, tried and true. I have to say the best costume I've ever seen was Superman. Flat out. See, it's simple, red and blue. I don't care about the damn underwear being.
Underwear on the outside.
It doesn't matter. It's like, all right, that's just how it is. That's his damn costume. You're gonna make fun of a guy who can move a planet? No. You know, so it's he wears it with pride and strength. Even when it decided to go all blue, or maybe use the red in a different context or something. Yeah, it's perfect. It's triumphant. All three primary colors are involved there. It's simple. It's form fitting. It shows his magnificence and his strength without being menacing. Yeah, his is the best costume I've ever seen. Truly. That and Stiltman. You know, so guys, I got to go to sleep.
All right, Rich. Thanks for stopping by.
Will, good luck. I backed your campaign too.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for backing mine, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, man.
Good luck.
Right.
I will help you if you need help.
Yep, no problem. I'll be hitting you up later on after you wake up.
Maybe. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
later.
Catch you later, Rich. Thanks.
See you later, man. Thank you, James. I appreciate you letting me on your show. Thanks,
You're
man.
welcome. Thanks.
See you cats later. Bye.
See you later. All right.
On mine, I mean, like Rich pointed out, Batman and Superman are tried and true. There's a reason for it. That's a reason if you look 90% of the time, they don't try to change it. And when they do, it always goes back to the original, just because it works. I personally, I don't know if it's considered one of the best. One of the costumes that I like the most is Gambit's. I've always liked Gambit's. You know, it's basic for what he does and his abilities and stuff like that. It conceals what it needs to, but it adds to, like, for instance, in the comics, you know, when he's throwing his cards or, you know, different stuff like that, it adds that extra layer of motion that you don't necessarily see. And that's one character that I wish, like with the X-Men series and stuff like that, you would see more of, but you don't see a whole lot of Gambit on the live action stuff. That's a character I've always wished they would do, but they just
are we talking about the 90s one with the balaclava? You talking about like all the characters in the 90s had the balaclava with the hair out the top.
Yeah. The card, you know, your little gambling card thrower, you know.
Yeah. Wow. See, I asked this question. I have so many. Like, I think right away I go to iconic costumes. So, you know, I always want to say Spider-Man because that's just like the classic costume. And it just like makes everyone so mad that they keep messing with it. Like anytime they try to change it in the movies or comic books, people like, there's nothing wrong with the costume. Why do you keep changing it? Like I just seen because they do like a new outfit. There's like 2 new costumes in the new Spider-Man movie, and everyone like losing their crap over that.
I've always been a fan. Like it started with the comics, and then I've always been a Carnage fan. I've never really been a huge Spider-Man fan, so to speak. However, I say this Spider-Man theory is how I got into the Marine Corps. He got bit by a spider and became Spider-Man. I got bit by a bulldog and became a Marine. So it's Spider-Man's fault. However, I've always been a fan of Carnage and stuff like that. And what they did with his costume, kind of keeping the Spider-Man feel and then changing it with the dark red and, you know, the evil. I've always been that type of person. I always side more with the anti-hero or the villains than I do the heroes themselves. That's just my personal feel. Yeah,
I remember when Carnage first came out. I just like it because he's a serial killer, and they use like the costume is kind of like blood. You know, it's not as clean as Venom is. Like Venom's kind of just like there and just a giant Spider-Man.
Exactly.
But
Carnage is like that. Carnage is the Carnage version. And you know, it's like if I had to choose like a superhero that I was a fan of and, you know, stuff like that, I would choose like Wolverine. But at the same time, the original, you know, when Wolverine was coming out and his origin stories and stuff like that, Wolverine, yes, he's a superhero, but at the same time, he's not your standard goody-goody two shoes that you see on a lot of them. You know, he pushes the line quite a bit.
I mean, he kills people. That was kind of. Yeah, I mean, he tells you he's the best at what he does.
A massive superhero from killing people.
Yeah.
Is he really the hero, or are we just all just fooled? No.
Yeah, well, I'm an old school comic person, so I hate like when they reboot things and change things and everything. So like I always tell people like, well, that's not my like. I don't care what they say. This is still like the storyline I go by. So, like a lot of people got mad when they did that Wolverine origin or whatever it was called, and like you find out that because Sabretooth isn't his brother. I mean, or isn't, or they tell you it is, and then later on Marvel comes back and puts this other book out that says no, that's not his dad. His dad was this other guy, and like that makes no sense. Like you just introduced this character whose last name was Logan. He looks just like Wolverine, and you told us, oh, that's his dad, and now you're gonna tell us it's not. It's this other guy with. Whatever. Yeah.
They don't think about the consistency throughout.
Yeah,
the continuity for sure. And like we'll go back to the wrestling thing. One of the coolest thing I saw, like right now on AEW, just recently, Tommy End, Aleister Black, Malachi Black now just debuted.
Wednesday.
Well, the thing about it is that's something you don't even see in today's wrestling. The continuity. He took the WWE storyline of him losing his eye and kept it the whole time, even in WWE when they were screwing his character up. When he debuted in AEW, he still has
had
the continuity
like the white eye and it's all bruised. Yeah,
it's the same eye, and it's still he kept the continuity, and it's a whole nother company, whole nother character. Fans would understood just fine if he did it, but the fact that he kept that continuity, it's paying homage to his career. But it's showing his love for the wrestling business and behind the scenes and for his fans.
Yeah.
You might have fans like my son who, what happened to his eye?
Yeah.
They saw this, but then here, because they don't understand the difference between the shows. So,
yeah. Well, that's one thing I've liked about AEW. I mean, I'm a huge wrestling fan, but they're not afraid to admit there's other wrestling companies.
exactly.
Whereas WWE's like, this person has only ever wrestled for us. That's... it's like they've never wrestled anyplace else, and when they leave here, they're never going to wrestle again. So,
Yeah, I actually, I don't know how many cease and desist letters I intercepted when working for the NWA from different stuff, because we were the same way. We would show, hey, this person was part of this. We didn't promote him, but we said, hey, it was part of this company. Blah blah blah. It's history. It's what it is. But we got so many cease and desist. We actually had one. I did a poster with Animal, Joe Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
Joe sent me the photo to use on the flyer. WWE sent me a cease and desist that says they own the photo. Sent it to Joe. Joe apparently made a phone call and said, "Don't worry about that cease and desist because it's his photo."
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, at the same time, even as an indie show, when you're getting things like that, you're doing something right because obviously the big guys are looking at you. If they're going to send you off of a flyer. So, and that's why like this campaign is so important to me because it's getting my story out there. One, it's my first comic. Two, it's getting my story out there. And there are some scenes in the comic that I've taken from real life experiences and different things and names from some of the names from real life situations in my, or my family's life and things like that. So I plan on trying to put my kid in it eventually. I just haven't figured out how I want to, because I don't want to kill him. Can't kill the kid.
Yeah.
If nobody backs it as the agent, he might become the agent.
Nice.
You never know. Got to give him some homage in there. My wife might kill me if I don't get off of here pretty soon. So
yeah, that's why I'm getting ready to. But the other one's left before I got to do the closing. So, is there besides the Kickstarter, where else can the people on the interwebs find you?
We're at hillturncomic.com, which I need to actually update, which being a web designer, I don't ever update. It's that whole concept. Mechanics with the worst car. We've got kickstarter.hillturncomic.com, which is the Kickstarter link. We've got TikTok, we're Hillturn Comic on TikTok. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all right there at Hillturn Comic. Right there. I can move it right there.
Yes,
that's our screen name on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find us there, message us. You can message me and I'll add you on my personal and talk with everybody. And then again, we're starting to use TikTok a lot, so we're starting to build a little bit of a reputation. We ain't got a whole lot, but we're starting to get some followers over there, and I'm releasing different things as TikTok. You can also go to the website and sign up for the mailing list. We send out different updates all the time. Yeah, so we're trying to get a little bit of everywhere.
Very cool.
We have a YouTube, but the only thing on it is the Kickstarter video at the moment.
Yeah, it's like I have a 10-year-old nephew, and he was amazed I have a YouTube channel. And I was like, I don't know how much of a YouTube channel. It also has my comic book stuff on it. So
yeah,
it has these.
Well, my
interviews.
TikTok was, me just doing silly stuff. So if you go down to the earlier stuff, it's just me being silly. And then I do competitive axe throwing. So there's some practicing of me doing axe throwing on there. And now I've turned it into, since the launch, it has turned into nothing but my comic stuff or comic related content and things like that.
Nice. I'll make sure to check it out because I too am on TikTok, but you wouldn't know it's me. I wear a mask and I do all that stuff.
Yeah, follow me and I'll follow you back. So
yeah, that'll be cool. All right, well, we're gonna wrap up the show for the night, and as I tell everybody, you're welcome back anytime. You don't need to be promoting anything. Sometimes I just like to hang out and talk, and I have a bunch of silly questions for everybody. I always tell everybody, if you ever watch the show, Katrina Rhodes has been here for 4 times. Only once was she ever promoting anything. So,
next time I'll try to get my artist with me. He was actually on Livid Comics show at the exact same time. So,
yeah,
we're promoting on 2 different ways.
I have a beef with those guys now. I have a beef with them because they were on my show at this same time a couple weeks ago. Then the next week they started a show on my time slot. I'm like, you don't do that. You don't.
I know. I told them, they're like, you can come over. I was like, I can't. I got to be on another show at the same time. Bump it down a little bit, and we can work together.
Yeah. Just pick a different night. I had Fridays first.
Yeah, before this, I started the day with 5-Star Fridays.
Yes.
We did that, and then I had you guys this evening, and I'll probably be on it before the end or even after. I do a lot of stuff. Pops has got me on a different stuff. Monday, I'll be on his Poppin' show with Pops and Piper, or Piper and Pops, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Whenever people ask me advice for how to get, when I get ready to start a Kickstarter, I said, get on as many shows as you can. Because I started on the behind the scenes on getting on the shows. My Kickstarter launched before I got onto a lot of shows, but it's definitely helping quite a bit. That's how this show started.
I'm trying to get on Indie Volt. I've got my newsletter just went out yesterday, and I've got several shows lined up already. A couple times. My hardest part is the time frames with working and all that stuff. We're constantly busy. I got a 4-year-old, so that's a handful. I got a Kickstarter. That's a full-time job. And the full, so
I know.
I'm juggling 3 full-time jobs.
Yeah, it's fun, but the fulfillment's even worse than the actual campaign. I think that just kills you. But
my wife is listening.
But I will talk to you later. Make sure you check out Heel Turn now on Kickstarter, and we hope to have you back shortly.
Yep. I'll get with Hughes, and we'll try to figure out something to get both of us on there pretty soon again.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Have a great one.
Well, everyone, this was the Hangout. I hope you had fun. Of course, it's always fun when Rich is here. He is a little crazy, but it's always fun. I love to meet new creators, or even older creators, new creators to me, I should say. I love just to talk some stuff, just about their projects, about what comic books they like, and things like that. But so for those who stuck around and who have watched, I thank you very much. Make sure you check out my Hooligan Alley review shows. They're on my Facebook, and they're also on the YouTube channel. Just search Hooligan Alley Hangout. Trying to think what else. Next week we have, right now I'm on the wrong week. Oh, next week we have a very special show. Joseph A. Michael and Jeremiah Stemple will be here. They're from Heroes for a Cause, and they have I guess it's an anthology or a book coming out called Center Ice. It has to do with pediatric cancer. And so that's something, if you know anything about me, that's something near and dear to my brain. So make sure you check out next week, and make sure you check out the YouTube channel and check out some of those reviews that I've been doing the last couple of weeks. But we come to close another week, under 2 hours again. So this is cool. This is JW signing off. Just telling you all to go out there and support your indie comic creators. I know cons are opening back up. I know there's one this weekend. Just a bunch of them this weekend. So if you get a chance, get out there, find those artists in the artist alley, buy their stuff, go to Kickstarter or Indiegogo. We've had some great projects on the show tonight. Check those out. And there's a little secret. When you back those guys, when you support these indie creators, you get new comic books. It's crazy, I know. But anyway, this is JW signing off for the week. Be sure you have a safe and nice weekend. How'd you like my new light? You can actually see me instead of hiding in the shadows like normal. But good night. Stay safe. Love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.